video, I want to talk about a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I don't know what he was referring to when he said that quote, but man, if it's not so true today, thanks to social media, Instagram, and I guess maybe Snapchat, we're, as I've said before, we're basically our own public relations department now. A lot of people are trying to. Dee Dee. Is that a squirrel? We're trying to convey this image of perfection to the online world. Not everybody, but a lot of people, and I will say, from my experience, it's most often the most insecure people that are trying to make their online image seem perfect. And it's because I think this insecurity that people get that outside validation from the likes and comments, and it's not a bad thing, but depending on how strong-willed you are or how dependent you become to this outside validation of social media outpouring of support, it can be kind of addictive, I think, to some people that are prone to it, and your whole self gets wrapped up in how other people online that you probably will never meet in your life think about you, for the good and the bad. Like your self-esteem gets pegged to how many likes or what kind of comments you get on a picture. And if it's all good, you're feeling great about yourself, but if you get one negative comment like ew, whatever, you probably quick drop through the floor because your self-esteem is so fragile. And we're in this age where a lot of what we see online, even if it's somebody's personal social media account, is not who they are in person. Like I said, a lot of times these people that are posting the most inspirational quotes and motivational things and perfect pictures, and it's because their whole day basically is wrapped up in projecting this image to other people so that they can feel good about themselves from the support they're getting. But that's most likely because they're not getting that kind of support in real life, unfortunately, because being reliant on how somebody feels about you because of your social media account is not fulfilling. It's not nearly as fulfilling as having a diverse group of friends or loving family or whatever. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us are falling into this trap that hey Sam, a lot of us are falling into this trap that, wow, we see other people with this perfect social media profile and they seem to have a lot of followers and a lot of comments and hearts, and man, they're doing so much better than me. So we compare ourselves to this image of this person, and we start to feel bad about ourselves too, because we're looking from the outside in thinking like, man, they really got their shit together. But like I mentioned in the previous video, I've known people like this and they don't have their shit together. Like I said, they're probably the most insecure and the most often unhappy people because they're trying to get that support somewhere, and they can create a good avatar of themselves online to get the kind of support that they may not be getting in person. And so as an outsider looking in, don't think that these people are what you should look up to and then feel bad about yourself. And I know there's a lot of research. And that's Sam. No, there's people walking their dogs right now. Sam, hey. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so I think what I was saying was people, we're trying to get this outside validation, and I myself guilty of comparing myself. I look at people my age and I'm like, man, they're more successful in business, or maybe they already have 3 houses, and I look at things that I value and I don't possess these things. Can y'all stop for like 2 minutes? I don't possess these things, so I'm like, man, I kind of feel like a failure. And other people have different standards. Like maybe they look at somebody and they're supposedly more attractive, and they're like, oh, I'm never going to be as attractive as her or him. And you start mad about yourself. Sam. I know what I was saying. So according to all available metrics and research, young people are suffering the worst because of this comparison that we have going on thanks to social media. It's teenage girls especially, it's depressing figures like depression and suicide are, skyrocketing because I should have closed the window before I did this, because young people who are more prone to social pressures are looking at other people thinking that their lives are much better, comparing themselves, and they immediately feel depressed because they're really, putting themselves up against this fake image. It's not even real. It's not who that person is. It's just who they're projecting themselves to be. So I guess I'm just going to cut this off before they bark nonstop. What I want people to know is that it is human nature to compare yourself to other things. That we've got to measure ourselves against something, but keep in mind that often what we're measuring ourselves to is not the real image. Even if you're measuring yourself against, say, somebody that's more successful in business, you have no idea how they got there. Maybe they had a wealthy parent and gave them a huge leg up. So you're never really comparing apples to apples. It's always apples to watermelons or apples to a Buick or something. So don't feel bad about yourself if you look at other people, me, or I don't know why you look at me thinking that I'm doing better than everybody. But don't think that because you're not where you think this person is, are you going to talk back to me now? That you're not successful or you're not enough or you're failing, because hey, we're all on this journey and we all got to do the best with where we started at and tools and resources that we got. So just keep trying. Doesn't matter where you're at. Just keep moving forward. And if you got dogs around, don't let them look at the window. Look out the window all the time. All right, take care, y'all.